exciting news for the City of Kings because the Skies Metro FM is bringing to you Imaradhan Yotando. The Color Fun Run is back, and this year it's louder, brighter, and bigger than ever before as we hit a decade of broadcasting right here in the City of Kings. Every time I have someone who's a guest, trust and believe, they are very beautiful. They are very, very beautiful. Not just standard beautiful, but gorgeous. And Jamie is a woman who proves hard heads and a mom life can go together. She's a nurse, environmental a science graduate, a co-founder and co-director of Vigillant Engineering, that's construction and civil works, and a mom of three. Her company has works for National Foods, Blanket Mine, even the ZDF, and they even took home Bulawayo's 2023 Best SME Infrastructure Development Award. She is a Christian. She is hands-on. She's here to tell us what it really takes to build Zimbabwe. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Francesca, for inviting me here. It's an honor.
I'm so excited. I'm so very excited because I love having women in power. I love having women that are driving change, breaking all the stereotypes that are said about women. As you heard on the intro, hard hats, you're wearing your safety shoes, you're in your regalia,
yes.
And you are a mom. Which one is messier by 10 a.m., the construction site or your kitchens?
Actually, the funny part of this is I was talking to my daughter today and I was like, which one do you think is messier? And she was like, definitely us.
Oh,
so it's definitely the kitchen.
The kitchen in the morning.
You are reassured by 10 a.m. the kitchen is messy, the sink is full to the brim with everything, all the foodstuffs, all the dirty dishes. Like, that's my house. But you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy being a mom.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're also hands-on. You're also a director out there.
Yeah.
You have the hard heads, and on the other side, you're also a mom.
Yeah.
And you highlighted that you studied environmental sciences at NAST.
Yes, that's
but
correct.
you are building with concrete and steel now. Where does that degree show up on site?
It does show up because when I'm on site, I'm also, because my degree, it also covers safety health and the environmental issues. So when it comes to construction, we also have to take care of the workers on site, make sure that they're wearing proper safety wear. We have to make sure the equipment is proper. I don't know if you know some of the equipment that we use there, but some of it has to be proper and it has to be functioning properly. So that is some of the things that I do there on site. That has to do with my degree.
Beautiful stuff.
Yes.
And you have done some work for big names. What's one project with them or that makes you feel so proud when you drive past it and then you say, that is me right there?
I'm not sure about driving past it, but one project that is always on my mind is the one we did with ZDF, BF, that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, where they provide accommodation for the soldiers. So we've done a total of about 64 houses.
Wow.
Yes, that one is always on my mind because I think we've played an instrumental role in providing accommodation in this nation.
Oh, yes.
So that really actually makes me feel very proud.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And let's talk about the award, Best SME Infrastructure Development in Bulawayo in the year 2023.
Yes.
When they called your name, who did you think of first? Your team, your kids, or that 20-year-old at NAS? Whom did you think of?
Well, none of those three at first. The first person, not even a person, but I thought of God.
Oh my God.
I was really amazed because I was like, okay, out of all the amazing companies that are in Bulawayo, we were the ones that were selected. It was such an honor. And I was amazed at what God can do, like what they say that God can take you up, lift you up from the miry clay itself. That's how I felt.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, it was such an honor. Yeah.
I love the fact that you put God at the forefront to say, oh my God, I thank God for this opportunity of all the SME companies that have to do with infrastructure development. You came reigning supreme in the year 2023.
Exactly.
That is something very amazing. And on the intro, I mentioned the issue of, being hands-on. What's the most hands-on thing you've done this week precisely that will surprise people on site? That's the most hands-on thing you've
Actually,
done.
I'm not that hands-on as you might think. Most of the work that I cover is actually off-site.
It's off-site.
I'm mostly at the office. I'm handling admin issues, marketing and sales. For those maybe who follow me on TikTok, they might know my voice on our TikTok page for Vigillant Engineering.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm mostly doing. When I do go on site, I'm not as hands-on as that. Otherwise, the builders will chase me away.
I love that. And, lately, Zimbabwe, we have been doing a lot of development from
Yes.
building houses, etc., etc. What's the number one mistake you see that makes you go, no, on site? This is not it when it comes to building. Do you
Yeah.
have a mistake that you think as people that are building out there, we tend to make that you might say, this is, I don't want this. This is non-negotiable. What is the number one mistake that you see that makes you go, no, on site?
Actually, there are quite a lot of things that I have noticed. One of the first things that I would say if you are planning on starting your building project is just to have some bit of knowledge or information on construction itself. Like when we're starting, a client walks in and they want to us to do their house, for example. We give them what we call a BOQ, which is a bill of quantities. That will be listing all the things that they're going to need in terms of the materials, labor, etc. Now, suppose I just want to lie to you. I can just write something there.
Yeah.
And you end up being charged for something that won't even be used. So at least if you've got some knowledge of the construction, maybe foundation, okay, what is needed? We need this, we need cement and etc. It also helps you. And also another mistake that I've seen is some people, they are looking for the cheaper ways. I would recommend that you look for a reputable company, do your research beforehand, make sure you know who you are getting in business with, so that tomorrow you don't cry. Because I've seen some houses that people build with shortcuts. They're supposed to do reinforcement on their foundation, for example. Next thing, the house is cracking because they skipped something important that was supposed to be done because they wanted cheaper labor. So that is some of the mistakes that I have seen on site. And also another thing that I would recommend is, even if you are the client, just make sure that the people that are working on your project are wearing proper safety wear. Because some things can happen, accidents happen, as we know, occupational hazards are there. Next thing, you are the one that is in trouble. Yes. So I think offhand, those are the three that I would mention today.
Thank you so much. Which is something that we need to look at as we are building our houses. Be there, be part of the project too. Don't leave people to do your project. And the issue of safety, I love that you mentioned it. And the issue of don't go cheap. Because cheap is very expensive.
Cheap is expensive.
Very expensive. Because now you need to repair. Now when you're repairing, those are costs that you are incurring that you
Some
never.
of the damage is irreparable, actually. Example, if a house is cracking from the foundation, there is no way you can repair that.
Then what happens when that happens?
Restart again. Because what happens is the crack continues to go up right to the roof. So that is very scary to even imagine. Imagine all the costs that you'd have incurred to build your beautiful home, and then that happens.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is
So
really,
cheap
really
is really expensive.
Yeah, cheap is really, really expensive.
Yes.
So I want us to talk about you. You know, you are a mom, and you are a director, co-founder. How do you balance that? Having to, be the mom to your daughters, and also, come and, be in the boardroom and be a leader. How do you strike a balance?
Well, I think for me, it's the moment I get in my house, I'm a mom. It's automatic. It's like the gears just switch on for momhood. There's no option. Of course, sometimes I do take my kids to work. I also want them to see that other side of me, the career-focused woman, the entrepreneur, and also to get to appreciate that other aspect of life. Whilst as well at home, they have to also learn to take care of their environment, their home, do dishes, etc.
Yeah.
So it's quite a balance that is intricate, if I can say. I was laughing with my friends the other time because, as you know, I'm a co-founder, so I'm in this business together with my husband.
Yeah.
So my friend was like, how do you switch when you get to the office?
Yeah.
And like I start calling my husband, say, and when I'm at home, I'm calling him baby. And they're like, how does that even work? So I've managed to just find a balance between my private life and my career. It's just been like that.
Which is something
Yes.
so beautiful.
It is
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And just to, we're about to conclude, and as you know, the award is on the shelf now. You've got it.
Yes.
30 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for? Like, maybe, let me just say, what do you want to be remembered for as a career woman and as someone who's driving change?
Yeah, I think I would love to be remembered for someone who did drive change in our nation.
Yeah.
In terms of providing accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I feel like at this stage where we are in Zimbabwe, we are really at that phase where we are growing.
Yeah.
Massive. I think if you were to even drive along the highways,
Yeah.
you see massive construction taking place.
Mm-hmm.
People are building everywhere, big, small towns, whatever. So I think as our company is also part of this big, massive growth, I think I would love to look back and actually appreciate the contribution that we made to the economy with our business.
That's so beautiful. Last one, quick one. Tea or coffee before side? Which one is yours?
Always coffee.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
a black coffee girl.
Black coffee girl. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Mrs. Gudza.
Francesca.
And it has been a pleasure, such an honor having you right here in the studio. So a lot of times we try have people like you so that there are young ladies out there that probably want to do
Yeah.
construction.
Yeah.
And they're thinking to themselves, no, that's a male-dominated industry.
It
but if
is.
we have people like you,
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
challenging those men in boardrooms and with deals and projects, it is something great. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been such a pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me. It was such an honor.
And there's a song that you love the most here, and I think this is the one that I'm going to close off with. And that is
Okay.
Priscilla Gudza, also known as Mrs. Gudza. She is an entrepreneur, and she is a NUST Environmental Sciences graduate, co-founder and co-director of Vigillant Engineering, thus construction and civil works, and a mom of 3. And as you know, her company has built for National Foods, Blanket Mine, and even the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. And in the year 2023, they took the Best SME Infrastructure Development Award. Oh my God, that is something so beautiful. Hoping that you are also inspired at home to drive change and do something better.